What up, y'all? Shout out to the poor camera quality, but I got the lights low because you know, I got my Milwaukee Brewers glowing, and I got my Summerfest shirt glowing. But it's your boy Track Lace. I'm here to recap these battles. Um, there was 8 battles, and out of the 8 battles, I had 5 3-0s, and I'm not gonna start from the last battle and go in reverse, but just so you know, I'm not clickbaiting you. Ryda 3-0'd Mike P. You feel me? He 3-0'd Mike P. He body bagged him in the second. He edged him in the first, and he edged him in the third. So that's a gentleman's 30. And the fans voted for Mike P. And the two professional rappers, well, yeah, Iron Solomon and Method Man both gave it to Mike. I just don't see how. And then Method Man really went crazy. He gave the second round. He said that was an edge to Mike P. That second round was clear. But okay, I'll get back to that. But I took notes, y'all. First battle was EK versus Glue Easy. That was a body bag. It almost seems like Glue Easy was so intimidated by how cold Emerson Kennedy's lyrics were that he just choked like he couldn't even remember his bars. That was rough. One of the standout lines EK had was, "Oh yeah, Utah Jazz brother don't get calls for the push." You know what I'm saying? So that was a reference to Michael Jordan. I still don't say he pushed over on Russell. I just think Russell got crossed. Um, so it's looking real bad for Glue. Like I thought Glue beat New Jersey Twerk when he first came onto the scene. Nobody agrees with that, but it seems like Glue hasn't won a battle since he beat New Jersey Twerk. It seems like Glue has lost like 10 battles in a row, man. So EK is going to be a problem in the second round. So I got that 3-0, and everybody seemed to agree. Oh, and I can't forget a real dope line. He said, he said something, I guess to the point that Glue Easy wasn't that nice, and he had to play within the rules. So he said, "I'm abiding by default." So basically, he was saying he don't like Trump and he don't like Biden, but Trump is so bad you gotta vote for Biden, so it's Biden by default. So that was clear. Second battle was Danny Myers versus you. You know what? Okay, we'll turn the lights on, man. We'll turn the lights on. Danny Myers versus Reaper Rail. This was also 3-0. Um, you knew that it was different levels when Reaper Rail had on a shirt that said "Fast Forward," and Danny Meyer rebutted at the start of his second. You have "Fast Forward" because that's what we do through your verses. We fast forward through your verses, and then he also said, "The blood about to come out early. This is cycle change." And he also said, "Reshoot this ish like the Snyder cut." That's for all you Justice League, DC, Marvel comic book heads. But even though Reaper Rail got 3-0, he had the line of the battle. He said, "I hate how you be in your battles like rah, but you can't take care of your sun god." Because if you know anything about ancient Egyptian history, Amun Ra is the sun god. So, and you know, he got all these kids. So that was a fire line. But I don't think there was much of a surprise. Reaper did choke in the first also. So I just think that it's one thing to be in the battle as kind of a lower mid tier, but it's another thing to actually be on the stage with somebody as good as Danny. And it's so almost the same way back to back. It seemed like Reaper Rail and your boy was overwhelmed by their opponents. Reaper Rail and Glue Easy were both overwhelmed by their opponents. Our next battle, Mr. Wavy and Steams. This is the NBA 2K created player battle. It's like you just choose what headband you want them to have and choose what school they're from. So you just putting these two cats in with actual names. And Mr. Wavy won. He said the shotgun make him spin like Clean's paper special move. That was cool, man. It was Wavy 3-0, and mostly because Steams just didn't have nothing. Steams was probably the best he ever was against Danny Myers, but he didn't have anything. Like, y'all see, I got this notepad, so I kind of do check marks, and if somebody said something like really dope, I'll write down what they said. But he ended his first round early, and he got the light voice, and just don't got no conviction with his bars. So Steams just felt empty. That was an underwhelming battle, but it was Wavy 3-0. So maybe Wavy might surprise me when they reconvene, but I don't doubt him. Now, Bill Collector versus YK. Now, this one was interesting because Bill won, but a lot of people in the comments in the caffeine chat was saying that they felt like YK got robbed. But Bill started out the battle. He said, you Morgan Freeman, we never remember you, young. And that's kind of like the nooks and crannies, the crux of YK's whole style. Is he yells, he has aggression, and he has gun bars, but he never has anything that really makes you, once again, against Danny Myers, that's probably the best I ever saw YK. Oh, and also when he killed Jack Boy Maine. But he just, he had the, he said something, I guess he's saying that he'll leave Bill Collector stiff because he shot him. He said that's a hard body line on him. Math Hoffa. So that's like a Kiki hard body, her rape accusation. But Bill just had way more creative stuff. I got a big case for young R. Kelly. I lead my punches are spaced out like JC Teeth. He said, blast on you to let my Eagles down. I'm McNabb. And in the third round, he just stopped too soon. But he said the shots turned Killer Mike into Thriller Mike. That was dope, but he just stopped. And yeah, just YK just isn't anything special. And Bill Collector was supposed to battle B Magic, and I think B Magic would have came with a very similar, type of energy, just nothing special. So Bill Collector 2-1, very witty performance. All right, now this is the battle of the night, and okay, I'm not gonna lie and say that I predicted that Loso would lose, but I will say the one thing I've noticed about A-Ward and Loso is that despite being very Christian, they are very cocky. And I've seen Loso do this 2 other times. Against Scotty, I felt like he barely beat Scotty down in Houston because he was talking down to Scotty like he wasn't worth him to be battling. but Loso bars wasn't that great. It's just that Scotty didn't match him. Then I don't know if y'all remember when Loso battled Moneybags, white Moneybags that I always thought was Puerto Rican. Dog, Moneybags was killing Loso. You know how he'd be like, he ain't ready for this. He ain't signed up for this. Dude, Moneybag bars was better than Loso's. But Loso, once again, just kind of had this arrogance. And even with the way he write his bars, you're writing bars instead of like just dope punches. You're writing like, I shouldn't even have to be battling you. So, with the way Nun Nun got smoked by Jack Boy Maine, the last thing Loso should have done is come into this battle with him talking about, you don't even deserve to be on the stage with me, like I'm royalty. Even with the way Briz Rothstein humbled you in that 1 round battle. You think just because you 3-0 JC, who was off his game, and didn't take the proper angles against you, you got big headed again. So Nun's name is Lance. He says, so just because y'all like Lance a lot, y'all think this gonna be the battle of the night? That was cold. But then he said, I'm just sitting up here mocking Jay. He was talking about JC. He said, the way I was mocking Jay, I'm about to put an end to Hunger Games, because that's the name of the clique that Nun Nun is in with Tink the Demon. Nun Nun won that first battle because he came with personals out the gate about Loso kind of being a hypocrite and not helping him with that Christian fellowship when he was going through it. And he said, turn the polls red. You know, Republicans won. But Loso did too much of that talking down to Nun Nun without very, really dope punchlines. It was more, he did too much of that, why am I even battling you? You know what I'm saying? Just assuming that his opponent ain't going to come with it. Kind of like the angle that Jay the Nightwing tried with the young fool. I forgot the young fool's name, but it worked, but it was very dangerous because he choked in the third. So here we get to the second round. Second round is clear. He was still trying that. Loso was still trying that cocky angle. He had a real dope line when he said, "You did something." And you ain't been back since. Just embrace it. Like a back brace. That was cold. But Nun Nun said, I'm a Christian shooter. Like that tall cat from Duke. And then, he said, I shot you in Tampa Bay, but they found your body in Clearwater. So Clearwater is like a suburb of Tampa. So a lot of people didn't get that, but that was cold. He rebutted when he was talking about the Hunger Games. He said, you talk about the Hunger Games, but I'm the fire cat in this. What? Katniss? I'm the fire Katniss. So, to wrap up this, I stayed on this one too long. But Nun Nun kind of fell off in the third. Loso turned up in the third. He says, you like to be in the black hood, so that's why I'm addressing none. That was tight. But it was too late. And the fans voted for Nun Nun. And then I think the judges, it went 2-2. So Nun Nun won off the fan vote. But the fan vote was lopsided. Everybody had Nun Nun winning. So salute to Nun Nun. I mean, Jack Boy made him retire. He came back with some fire. This battle I won't spend too much time on because franchise franchise is hit or miss to me, man. He has talent, but he isn't as lyrical as Tay Rock. He tries to kind of act and rap like Tay Rock, but he just doesn't have the bars. He won the first clear. Um, oh yeah, he said. He said I hit your front row. It looked like a Ja Rule concert. So he's talking about the gun or just leave his face empty. That was cold. Tank didn't really have a whole lot in the first round other than dropping franchise boys, like Koch Records. But in the second, Tank the Demon had an X-Man scheme, and he probably had one of the lines of the entire of all these battle rappers. He had an incredible he said all you do is steal people's styles. He says you shake the hand of every battler and then you go he said you touch the hand of every battler when you shake and then you go rogue with it. So basically rogue can touch you and then kind of transform like shapeshift like Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat into whoever she touches. And he basically saying that's what franchise does. In the third round, it was clear. Like if you ever been on the caffeine app, everybody was saying this not enough. This ain't it franchise. And Tink was just a little bit better, so he edged him 2-1. He kind of used the angle about how Tink be trying to talk about America and try to prop up Canada and put down America, and it looked like it went over pretty well. This outcome right here, I wasn't surprised about at all. Holmesy the Guy versus Saga. This was a clear 3-0. Just to save you some time, the Saga stumbled twice in the first. He stumbled again in the second. He had a real fire line, like he was showing a house, and the house was like a Holmes, like Holmesy the God. And he said, "Oh, that's the recycling bin. That's the trash. Oh, this must be the twerk section." So he took a shot at his buddy. But Holmesy started off the battle saying, "Everybody has you gas. Everybody has you beating me." The post is like 90. Had you beaten me like 90-10. And then somehow he said, "But all God need is his 10%. So talking about tithing. He said, "At it's good at the face off you wasn't there, cause I would have punched you and slid the profit under the table like side hustles." A lot of people missed that bar. And then he had a very good angle about how when a regular battle rapper battles against Christian battle rappers, that is slanted. And he said that Jesus is a deadbeat. 2,000 years later, you still ain't come back for your kids. Take that however you want to take it. But then he had a haymaker. He said you paid to bring a white police and then still died with a choke. That was just, battle was over just off that line. And then he said, Brian's hair, he said, my locks look like wool. I'm what Jesus would have looked like. And Saga didn't have nothing for that. So Holmesy, somebody that Piper Boy Williams would always say was trash and should never battle rap again, you had to put your foot in your mouth and eat your words because he beat Saga clearly. And now we come to the final battle. And I'm almost at 20 minutes, so I won't hang on this for too long. Ryda had the silk shirt, and his new rollout or his new persona is like Cool Rider. And so he was talking about Mike P doing all that Hadouken stuff. And he says, "I'm beating you. You want to continue or not?" Because at the end of Street Fighter, they give you that option. Then he said, and plus, y'all know me from as the Scorpion because Pound over his head like the Scorpion stance in his debut. He said, I stopped midway. So that's who makes the game, Mortal Kombat Midway. And then he says, what's up, Mike? I'm Don King. The fight is fixed. And if you look at my tally marks, I wrote down in the first round. You see, I wrote not enough, not enough, and I have it about 6-2 in terms of lines that Mike P said that I thought was fire. Ryder had about 6 lines I thought was fire. Mike only had 2. Then we get to the second round. As you can see, it's a lot closer. I got about 4-6. But even though Mike Pete was fighting back, he had some angles about him couldn't hang in Goonies, couldn't hang in Cave Gang. You name your guns but can't make a name for yourself. That's a fire line. Dude, Ryder went extremely personal to the point that I thought that Mike Pete was getting tight like he wanted to fight. He named where the cherry tattoo was on Mike P's wife and said she had the cesarean C-section scar from having a baby. And then he said, I used that white to beat Mike. I used that white to get to Mike. It's hustle and flow. Bruh. Y'all know DJ say, now look, man, I need this microphone, man. So I need you to do is please that man in that car, man, and get me that microphone. So, just to clear it up, Method Man said he edged Mike in that second round. There's no way anybody who saw that battle. That's the one round you can't argue because none of us saw that angle coming with a Ryder dissing Mike P's girl. So then we go into the third round. Ryder's talking about how Mike was trying to commit suicide, and then he started talking about his girl again. So people in the chat on Caffeine was like, dude, he talking about his girl again? And Twerk said, everything Ryder is saying is facts. And you know Twerk used to be Goonies with him. So, that's rough. And then Mike stumbled twice in the third round. And he won on the fan vote. And then it was 2-2. Like I said, the professional rappers. Well, I shouldn't say that about 40 because 40 is professional too. But the more well-known of the two, Iron Solomon and Method Man gave it to Mike. Tony Bro and fine looking 40 Bars gave it to Ryder, and then the fans gave it to Mike. Ryder got robbed. Okay, it was 3-0. It was an edge in the first, an edge in the third, and a body bag in the second. So, all right, man. I'm almost up to 25 minutes. This is your boy Track Lacer, representing Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I hope y'all enjoyed the battle. Leave a comment and let me know if you agree with my picks. And also let me know who you going to think win next week.